synergy that is there when we're all together. And one of the great leaders of our team is Michael Huggins. Here's a guy that he doesn't just tell you how it should be done and get up and show you nice things. He is a frenetic bundle of energy. Frenetic might be the wrong word. That means wild and crazy. And I guess I've seen Michael wild and crazy a time or two in a button down way. But he's doing what he tells us to do. He doesn't just say, go out and make the phone calls, spend the time on the phone, spend the time in the money making opportunities. He's actually out doing those every day and a million other things. And the things that he does all builds our team. And here he is this morning to give us instruction. Michael, how are you today?
Good morning, Ron. Good morning, everybody. It's Wealth Wednesday. Let's get started. All right. So I was asking a few people this morning what we should cover today, and I was getting all sorts of requests. Things like how to do the proper push-up, how to use chopsticks, what is kombucha. I got all these questions, and I got the answers to that and more today on our training. So thanks for being here, guys. Okay, so we are just a few days away from nationals. A few days. Sometimes we think, well, it's a few weeks away, but no, it's only what, 2 more Wednesdays after this, and we're there. 2 more Wednesdays, 2 more, and we're there. So what are you guys doing to get prepared for that? What are you guys doing to make sure that it's not just something you're attending, but it's actually something that you can make money with? Are you building for events? Are you booking people? How are you using nationals to make money? And then after nationals, what's your plan when you come back? When you come back to your home, your hometown, your home office, and you got these new nuggets. I want to talk about this concept of do it until versus do it unless. Do it until versus do it unless. When you guys have made a decision, you did make a decision, you enrolled in Renatus. At some level, you enrolled, right? You made a decision, you said, all right, I'm going to do this. You made a decision. Okay, made a decision to join. But sometimes we weren't clear about what our decision was, and our decision, and even though you join, you still aren't getting the result that you're after. Because, you know why? Because you didn't decide on your result, you just decided to join. We want you to pick a result. When you decide on a result, that's something we can actually move towards. Deciding to join is a one-time, one step, one thing, one step, and you're there, you joined. But what are you wanting out of this? What are you wanting to get from this training program, from this group, from this experience? So 2 things about this. One is, for yourself, we need to answer this question. And then also for your leads, for your prospects, when they show up and we're collecting decisions, how are we going about it? All right. So, it's right here. Okay. Wealth Wednesday, baby. Okay. Perfect. Okay, so how are we making our leads make a decision? Okay. So the difference, what I'm talking about, is when you make your decision, and this is with any decision, not just working in Renatus, but any decision, is this concept of do it until X happens, That's one mindset that will win. But the mindset that some people accidentally fall into, thinking that they're on this path of clarity, is they do it unless. So they're going to go to the meeting unless there's a game on. They're going to go to the meeting unless they don't have a guest. They're going to make calls or put out signs unless their girlfriend doesn't want them to. So when you guys are here and you guys decided you're going to play full out, did you decide that you're going to do it until, or are you going to do it unless? See what I mean? So the only one that really works is this top one. Do it until X happens. Do it until you make 100,000. Do it until you do your first deal. Do it until you've done your 100th deal. Do it until you've mastered the English language. Whatever. Do it until, not unless. That's for people who aren't thinking. They say silly things like that. I'll do it unless I forget to set an alarm, and then I'll sleep in. Right? This leaves too much room for error. No unless, only until. All right. So some of you, when you made your decision, it was in this format. I'm going to do this until. Good. What I want you to do is make sure and keep that at the top of your mind all the time. The top of your mind all the time. So for me, when I decided to join and I started thinking about this concept, I said I was going to do it. So for me, I was going to stop shaving. This is me. I was a little drastic, but I decided to stop shaving until I closed on a profitable, oh boy, real estate transaction. Now, it was hard, guys. It was hard because my beard looked ridiculous. Right? If this was a regular human's head, my beard looked like this. Okay? It did not look good. And here I am. I'm hidden behind this beard. And every time I looked in the mirror, right, and I saw my pretty self, I was like, dang, I need to shave. I need to get this off my face. And seeing it would remind me, no, I'm not going to do it until I close on a profitable real estate transaction. Until then, not shaving. Until then, not watching TV. Till then, not playing video games. So every day in the mirror, when I woke up, brushed my teeth, right, brushing my hair, then I look at my beard and I'm like, oh, goodness, what on earth? I got to get rid of this thing, but I can't until. And it was motivating because then when I get home after work and want to just goof around, play, whatever, it was like, no, put on classes. Make phone calls, analyze deals, go put out signs, go put out flyers, drop cards, call homeowners. Do it until you close on a profitable deal, and then you can shave, and everything will go back to normal, and life will be good again. This is what my beard is made of now, the money beard. So for you, are you doing it unless, or are you doing it until? It's the same thing with your meal plan. If you're trying to change the weight of your body and you want to shed excess fat, are you doing it unless or are you doing it until? See what I mean? It's not just this concept. It's your approach to life. Are you doing it unless or are you doing it until? Oh, we got some chats going on. Oh, you're right. You're right, Ron. Took it to a whole nother level. Good morning, Mina. Welcome to the call. Everyone else, as we're trickling in here, what's up? Okay. Now, how does this apply to our closing? When we're in a conversation with our guests, with our customers, let's think about it this way. You're on the phone with them, and so you're making a call. You got down to the invite, and then they said, yes, I'll show up. And then you get to the meeting, and they're not there. Where the heck are they? When you call them, you say, hey, I was at the meeting. Where were you? If they say something like, well, I didn't have enough info, so I decided not to come. Well, after thinking about it, I decided, since I didn't know exactly what it was, I'm not going to show up. What? Sometimes people will say that. Well, I didn't have enough info, so, or I didn't have a ride, right? I didn't something. Okay. So this is where you have an opportunity. This is where some people will go, okay, well, I'm just going to be pleasant and I'm going to re-invite. Okay, that's one way of doing it. Might I suggest another one? Where you ask another intelligent question. Ask, okay, why did you agree to come? Why did you agree when you needed more info? Or why did you agree to come when you still needed a ride? Why did you agree to come? Why? Now, this is what is referred to as, we're going to put in quotes here, carefrontational. We're not being confrontational. We're being carefrontational. We are asking with care. We are genuinely caring. Why did you agree to come if you were going to cancel 5 minutes after we started? Why did you agree to that? Now, this is at the beginning of the call. The beginning of the relationship. Okay, this is the beginning of the relationship. You have an opportunity right here when they didn't show up. You have an opportunity right here to either ask a take charge question. Okay, you're going to take charge, or you're just going to be pleasant and re-invite them. At the beginning of the relationship, I'm going to encourage you to ask those take charge questions. It's not easy at the beginning. It will definitely get easy after you've made a couple sales. I promise. You will think, gosh, why didn't I do this before? But at the beginning, you're going to be like, wait, am I supposed to be mean when I take charge with these questions? No. Some people might think you're mean and think you're being confrontational, but in your mind, you're being carefrontational. Okay? Now we have this new established relationship, and the difference in relationship that we're looking for is coach versus friend. Okay, if you are just pleasant and you re-invite and you're like, don't worry about it, people lie to me all the time, and you friend, you're not going to get a sale. Guess what you're going to get? Another friend. But if you want to make money, you need to put your coach hat on. Okay, the coach will say things like, what happened there? Well, wait a minute, what happened there? Well, what'd you do here? What'd you do here? Okay, it's all with questions. Coach asks questions. Coach doesn't tell you how to shoot a free throw. The coach asks you what you did wrong, and you adjust. So same thing here with your leads. If you have this coach mindset, that's what they're looking for. They know coaches will lead them to money. Friends don't equal money. Friends don't equal money. Coaches equal money. So some of you are sitting there going, oh, man, I put 30 people in the room in the last couple months and I haven't made a sale. It's because you're being friendly. Now, you might get one of those automatic sales where people are just there and looking, and boom, you got a sale. But more often than not, if you have enough leads, but they're not buying, it's because you're being their friend and not their coach. Okay? This is the question people are asking themselves when they're sitting in the room. Will this lead me to the land of milk and honey? No, I'm just kidding. Will this lead me to the land of financial freedom? Okay. This is the question you were asking yourself when you decided to join. You were sitting there. Someone asked you to join. Hey, 20 grand, you should sign up. And you sat there and processed this question in one wording or another, but this is what you thought about. Will this lead me to the land of financial freedom? Is this going to take me on the path I want of financial freedom? If yes, you buy. If no, you stop answering your phone. No answer. And you know, some people go, well, if it's no, they should just tell me no. Whatever. Don't get wrapped up with that. If it was a no, you should have figured it out sooner. As the recruiter, as the salesperson, it's your job to figure it out and pay attention sooner. Will this lead me to the land of financial freedom? If they answer that question, yes, they're going to buy. How do we get them to say yes? We get them to say yes because we show up as coach mode. We show up without listening to their excuses. We show up making them accountable to their own word. That's why we say things like, well, wait a minute, you said you were going to be there and you didn't. You knew you didn't have a car then, or you knew you didn't have a ride, or you knew you didn't have a babysitter, or you knew you needed more info, and then you said it anyway. Being accountable, when you show these traits of accountability of coach mode, then they're gonna that's the yes they need to buy. I make way more money being someone's coach than being someone's friend. And I tell them, I'm not here to be your friend. And they go, good. I don't want a friend. I have plenty of friends and they don't make me any money. So it's not about friends. It's about being a coach. And the coach is tough for the sake of growth, not because the coach needs to be tough. The coach is probably one of the nicest people you'll meet, but he's not nice, but he's not there to be nice. Okay? So some of you guys have people show up, right? You have them show up, they come to the meeting, right? You made your call, you did the invite, you got a yes, they attended, and then you say, great, you're going to come to the follow-up? And they say, I'll think about it. If you let them leave and they use the phrase, I'll think about it, then they're looking at you as a friend. Potentially, you could be a friend. But people don't say, I'll think about it to their coach. So, all you have to do is continue to question. Use your power questions. When they say something like that, you're going to say a power question. What do you mean by that? What do you mean by that? Say, I'll think about it. What do you mean by that? They say, I'll think about it. You say, okay, really? Why? What's there to think about? Do you want to do real estate? Or I'll think about it. Okay. Can you tell me more? What are you going to think about? Can you tell me more? And it starts with questions. Preguntas. Questions, questions, questions. So they're like, yeah, I got to go home and think about it. Okay. So you told me on the phone, you've always wanted to do real estate. You told me on the phone that if we could help you find the information to understand the market, that you'd be all about it. Okay, so here we are. What do you have to think about? What do you have to think about? These questions are always just coming from a coach mindset. If you have this coach mode in your noggin, they're going to be able to tell that you're asking because you're a coach in the company, not because you're trying to make a sale. Okay? So what do you mean by that? Really, why? Can you tell me more? I'll think about it. Okay. What's there to think about? It's a free class with more information. What's there to think about? The follow-up is a free class with more information. Oh, okay, yeah, I'll be there. Perfect. But if you just took this, I'll think about it, and then you went home, you go tell honey, hey, honey, great news. I have a guest. They showed up, and they said they'll think about it. What is your wife going to do? What is your husband going to do? If you're running the business, they're going to think, oh, my God, I can't pay bills with I'll think about it. We need results. We need answers. We need numbers. So please stop taking I'll think about it as an answer, okay? It's a delay tactic. I need you to ask more questions. Más preguntas. Okay, we got some chats. What's up, Chatty Cathy? Amanda, when they say they didn't have enough info, you ask them, why did you agree to come and you need more info? Then what? Just power questions? Okay, so let's play that out. If they say, well, yeah, okay, so why did you agree to attend if you still needed more information? I'm kind of confused. I was there giving you information and you didn't ask. I mean, it really just kind of goes based off of them. If they have a responsible answer, they say, okay, well, I like how you answered that question. I see that you're responsible. I'm going to reinvite you. But if they don't have a responsible answer, like, well, my phone died, or just something that non-responsible, then Amanda, I would say, okay, well, in my organization, this is how it works. When we say we're going to do something, we're going to do it regardless. We don't do it unless, we do it until. So let me ask you this. If I were to reinvite you to take a look at my team and what we got going on here, will you or will you not attend? If they say no, or I'll have to think about it, then you say, okay, you know what? It's time for a release statement. Release statement. So they say, I'll think about it, or they can't give you a real answer, or they're being irresponsible with their answer, like they say can't or something. Then you do a release statement. And a release statement is simply a language pattern that allows people to say no, gives them the opportunity to say yes. So a release statement is where it's like a takeaway kind of, a takeaway. So we're on the phone. You say, well, why did you agree? Why did you agree if you didn't have enough information? Why did you agree to come? Why didn't you just ask me on the phone? Oh, well, gosh, I can't even think of a lame excuse because I don't make them. They say some lame excuse, okay? You say, well, okay, well, maybe this isn't a good fit. And you just take it back. Maybe this isn't a good fit. Or maybe now's not a good time for you. Maybe this isn't, maybe real estate's not for you. When you say a takeaway like that, then they're going to go, no, it's for me. It's for me. Release statements. Release statements need to be used in your closings. They need to be used on the first phone call, the second phone call, your one-on-ones, at intensives, at workshops, at house tours, in your emails. Release statements all the time. The premise of the release statement is you give them the right to say no and the opportunity to say yes. Okay, please don't be the amateur salesperson that boxes someone into a yes. You know what I mean? When you start to ask a question, blah, 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 question, blah, 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 question. And you start to box them in, and you ask another question, blah, 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 blah. And now they have to either answer the way you want to answer, them to answer, or they're going to lie. When you box them in and you force them to say yes. Well, isn't it true that real estate makes money? Well, isn't it true that you want to make money? Well, isn't it true that you should buy real estate from us? Well, isn't it true that if you don't do this, your kids are going to starve? Whatever. If you use those language patterns and you box someone in and you force a yes, they're going to resent you. They're going to be mad at you. They're going to say, F that guy. He made me say yes. I didn't want to say yes. I don't want to talk to him anymore. He boxed me in. Don't box people in with their language, okay? If you force people to say yes, they're going to resent you. There's a little saying. It says, a mind convinced against its will is of the same opinion still. Man, it's hard to write and talk different words at the same time. The same opinion still. A man convinced against his will, or a mind convinced against its will, is of the same opinion still. So if you do all this convincing with fancy language, I got them to say yes, but you forced it, it's not a real yes. That's the key to release statements. It's the power behind a release statement. Okay, so we don't box, we listen, and we take away. We don't want to force a yes and create resentment. So the takeaway. So some people say, you know what, I can't. You could box them in and say, well, you know, can't, it's not a good word. And anyone who made up their mind around that decided they can't. Isn't that right? Yes. Okay, so can you make $1 million? Yes. Okay, so then you should sign up with us. Right? You try to get into this convincing mode. Don't convince. No convincing. So if you hear your customer say, I can't, blah, 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 then you just say, okay, cool. No problem. You know your situation better than me, right? You know your situation better than me. If you say you can't do it, okay. If you do that, then they're gonna have this puzzled look. You'll see it on their face. They're gonna be like, wait a minute, but well, maybe I can do this. Maybe I can. Didn't you say there's a free class tomorrow? Yeah, there is a free class tomorrow. Why don't you come to that? The takeaway, they say, I don't have any money, or I don't want to do this. Then you say, okay, cool. If you don't want to do it, I don't want you to do it. That's 100% okay with me. And you say it with a great attitude. You know what? If you don't want to do it, I don't want you to do it. And that's 100% okay with me. That's coach language, right? That's coach language. A friend would be like, well, come on, give it a try. Come on, you'll like it. It'll be good for you. As a friend. The coach just goes, you're an idiot. If you're not going to practice, you're not going to win the game. Right? The coach doesn't get upset if you decide to drop out. The coach is the coach. He's going to take his team. He's going to fill the role. He's going to do it. So the takeaway, if they say, well, it seems too hard. Okay. If it's too hard for you, you're probably right. You know your situation better than me. If you don't want to do it, I don't want you to do it. And that's 100% okay with me. Are you guys using takeaways often enough? You're talking to somebody, talking. You're like, well, think about it, even when you're on the phone and you're trying to get them to come to the meeting. If they're like, well, I don't know, Thursday nights is kind of busy for me. And after I've done my pitch, well, we're going to cover how do you get out of debt. We're going to cover how to keep all of your money. We're going to cover, how to be in a fix and flip for 10 hours and make $10,000. There's a lot of things we're going to cover. So is there anything you're doing Thursday night at 7 you can't get out of? And then they say, well, I don't know. Thursday nights are kind of busy for me. And then I could just do a takeaway right there. Okay, well, no problem. If you're not available, you're not available. That's fine with me. And then they'll go, well, wait. Is there another day? Can I come on another day? Oh, okay. You're still interested. Okay, yeah. What about on Saturday? Okay. But if I was trying to convince, but it's going to be good for you, you should attend. Then the further you push in one direction, the further they push in the other direction. So that's the beauty of these release statements. You're going to push towards a no. You're going to push towards a no, and then they're going to say yes. Okay, if you don't have the time, to me, Mr. Customer, you're saying you don't have the time. To me, that seems like a reason to build a business so you can create that free time. But you know what? You know your capabilities better than me. If you say you can't do it, then okay, I'll move on. And then they're going to go, well, wait a minute. Actually, I don't know exactly what this is. How do I find out more? All right, well, what are you doing Thursday night at 7? So release statements. I think we should spend the rest of the call on release statements. So let's be thinking about this. How can I help you utilize release statements? Come up with some do's and don'ts. What else? What about release statements? What else are we trying to figure out here? What else do you want to know? If we give them the right to say no, then we have given them the opportunity to say yes. It's the takeaway. It's a simple process, and it even works on salespeople. Okay, you know how salespeople are trained in sales, and then you try to do typical amateur sales language on them. They see right through it, makes them smile. And the cool thing is, regardless of their skill set, release statements work on everybody. Even that sophisticated salesperson, the release statement will work on him too, on her too. It doesn't matter who. If you do the takeaway, everyone wins. Because when you take away and it's not for them, you're done wasting time and you win. If you do the takeaway and it is for them, they're going to take it back, and now you've made some money and you served the customer. So no matter what they say, you benefit. If you don't create a release statement and you keep doing this convincing, at some point, they're going to resent you. They're not going to like you. We're not here to convince. We're here to sort. And by sorting, we sometimes need to do the takeaway. If you aren't making a decision, Mr. Customer, this is one reason why you're poor, because you don't make decisions. I need you to decide right now. Are you in or out? And either way, no matter what you decide, either way, that's 100% okay with me. All right, so got some questions. Cody, what's up? Yes, sir. Deslin, do you wait for them to respond after a release statement or follow that up with a question? It depends. It depends. Now, most of the time, I'll just leave it. I'll leave it hanging tension in the air. So if they're like, nah, I can't make it, or nah, I don't think this is for me. Okay, that's fine. If it's not for you, that's cool. Real estate's not for everybody. And I would stop right there and I would look at them with an optimistic look, just, all right, it's not for everybody. Yeah, I guess after a few seconds, if they don't say anything, then I'll take back control with the question. Okay, well, so if you picked something else, do you know how else you're going to achieve your goals we talked about on the phone? Do you know how else you're going to do it other than real estate? And if they say no, they say, well, why don't you take a second look? Why don't you show up tomorrow? It's free. And I'll just get right back onto the path of booking them to the next event. So to answer your question directly, Deslin, I will create tension with silence after my release statement. And then if they don't say anything, then I throw out my question and start to move them down the path I wanted to move them down. Natalie. Good morning, Natalie. Can you give an example of using the release statements in a transition into a close? So, so I had a guy who hates his job, is afraid of being fired every day. He goes into work afraid of being fired every day. He hates his boss because his boss lied to him about how much he was going to make. He lied to him about a lot of things. And he is such a ball of stress all the time. His families can feel it, everything. So he comes to the meeting. We show him the information. He says, I can't do this. It costs too much. So I said, you know what? You know your situation better than me. If you can't do it, okay. But then I looked at him and I said, well, what if we could help you find the money? And he goes, well, okay, tell me about that. I said, well, I just have a few questions. Do you have a 401k? Yeah. Okay. How much is in it? 50,000. Oh, perfect. Look, we found the money right there. And he says, well, what do you mean? I said, you could borrow from yourself, no penalties, no taxes, no fees, and you can pay yourself back, and you get the education, and it won't cost you anything on your monthly income, monthly expenses. Everything stays the same. So I solved it right there. Boom, overcame that objection. And then he goes, well, I just don't know if my wife is going to be okay with it. So then I asked him a question, and I said, is your wife okay with you having this job you have right now? And he said, no. I said, okay, well, if you don't want to do it, that's fine. But we found you the money. We've established that you need this because you could be fired at any time. We've also established you have the time to do this. So I guess what it comes down to, Mr. Customer, is if you don't want to do it, I don't want you to do it. And I left the silence, left the tension, and he goes, well, Michael, I do want to do it. Okay, then let's get your order in and let's get signatures going tonight. So I started putting in the order, and he goes, well, hold on a sec. I'm not quite ready. And then I just started laughing. I said, you see this mindset right here? Wouldn't you agree that people who can't make a decision quickly don't change their life very often? And he goes, yeah. I said, okay. So let me ask you this then, Mr. Customer. Do you believe that if you bring me a customer, that I'm going to spend time with them to answer their questions like I'm answering your questions? Yes. Okay. Do you believe that when they sign up, Renatus is going to send you a check? Yes. Okay. Then guess what? We're signing you up right now. And I waited for a second. Didn't hear any resistance. Great. Order's going in. And I just walked them through it. All right. You're getting an email. Pull it up. Oh, yeah. Here's the email. Okay. Temporary password. signatures, get it going. Did you follow all of that, Natalie? Hopefully that was what you were looking for. Tyler, you're a funny guy. So Tyler typed, hey, Mike, I don't know if these release statements work on experts like you. I know you may not agree, and that's 100% all right with me. Brett Hansen, I have a home that you and I can get into as a rental for less than $30K acquired via HOA foreclosure. You say it's not your type of investment? I'm 100% okay with you not wanting large double-digit returns. That's fine. For you, 2%. For me, 22%. That's 100% okay with me. So with these release statements, it is important to understand that you might have to go at it several times in one conversation. Okay. It works magic, but you might have to do it 2 or 3 times before they actually hear what you're saying. Oh, Natalie, I have another example. I was talking to a prospect. He came to the fall, came to a house tour, had a one-on-one, and now we're on the phone again. So it's been 4 exposures. We showed him comp plan, and he's still nervous. I know you're nervous, whatever. Get over it. Everyone's nervous. It's whatever. So he's expressing his nerves, and I say, all right, listen, I have a process that is working. Because I'm on the phone with you, this process is working. So this is what I said. I said, if you want to make $100,000, say, will you listen to what I'm about to say? He says, yes. I say, okay, great. This is what I want to say. For you to make $100,000 in the next 12 months working with me, you're going to bring 1 guest per week. You bring 1 guest per week, that's 50. You only need 10 to sign up to make $100,000. 1 in 5, this will be easy. Now, as I'm saying that sentence, he interrupts me and he says, yeah, well, I don't know if I could invite the people I work with. And I yelled at him. I said, excuse me, when you're talking, you are not listening. You just told me you were going to listen. Did I hear you correctly? Oh my God, that was so much fun. So when I said that, and again, I'm silent afterwards, and he goes, you're right, I'm sorry, I need to listen better. And guess what? Combo's in the system. Because that was a coach. He went, holy shit, this guy's going to call me out. This is what I need. I don't need another friend. I need someone to call me out. And I didn't call him out on anything except for, I said, when you're talking, you're not listening. You just said you were going to listen, so don't talk. Right? We say that to 2-year-olds, 3-year-olds, 5-year-olds. I'm saying it to a 55-year-old. And because I said that, he's signing up. Okay, so that gives you an opportunity. Think about it. If you just brought 1 person a week for the next 50 weeks, do you think 10 people would buy a combo? Absolutely. Probably closer to half would buy a combo. If you're bringing them down one by one, and you're personally answering their questions with the system we've developed, with the first exposure, second exposure, follow-up, with everything we have, guys, we should be closing 1 in 5, 1 in 4, 1 in 3, right? But 20%, that's really, I mean, you can make an incredible lifestyle for 20%. Okay. Release statement. Do it. I don't want you to do it. 100% okay with me. If you don't have the money, you know your situation better than me. If you can't do it, okay. Now don't walk away. Stay right there. Keep a smile on your face. Keep an optimistic tone in your language. Okay. Well, we show them the comp plan. We show them everything. All right. Now, do you have 20 grand? No. Do you have 10 grand? No. Do you have 4,000? No. Do you have 2,000? No. Do you have 1,600? No. Okay. Do you have 1,000? No. Now, actually, I don't think I could do this. Oh, you don't think you could do this? Well, after we've covered this, and this, if you seriously think you can't do this, you know your situation better than me. You don't have the money. You can't afford it. You know it better than me. I don't want you to do it. Well, what's the least amount I can get in for? That's good. It happens every time. What's the least amount I could get in for? $550. $125 for your IMA and $425 for your down payment. Oh, well, I think I could come up with that by next Saturday. Okay, perfect. Let's get your order in. Let's get your account set up. Let's change your password. It seems a little bit scary when you're using a release statement because you're like, if this person actually takes me up on my offer and they leave, then I definitely don't have a sale. And so it's scary to say, well, if you're not serious, leave. I mean, that's the crude version of a release statement. If you're not serious, leave. But in the back of your mind, you don't want them to leave, so you don't use release statements. And now you have this perpetual half answer situation with your guest for a couple more weeks, and then they stop answering because you weren't willing to let them go. You never gave them the right to say no, so you never created the opportunity to say yes. Do the takeaway. Study the takeaway some more today. But these release statements are huge. Sometimes when you're looking at a text from one of your guests and you're like, gosh, what do I say here? More often than not, a release statement would go right there. Use more release statements. Teach your team about release statements. Use them. Study them. Craft them. Come up with new ones. And just put on your sorting hat, right? We don't sell, we sort. All right, guys, it's the top of the hour. Thanks for staying with us. Hopefully you got some gold nuggets you're going to share with everybody. Continue to implement this concept, the release statement. Okay, remember what we talked about earlier with using our proper questioning. You guys got this. Day by day, in every way, we're getting better and better. So stick with it. Use those release statements on your spouse, on your kids, on your coworkers. Use them on everybody, not just customers. Okay, have fun with it. That's the beauty of what you're developing into. This company is developing you into a person who can control their environment, language-wise, leadership-wise, relationship-wise, financially speaking, physically, right? We brought on health people. We're revolutionizing your life. You just have to apply what we're giving you. Have a wonderful day, guys. Thanks, Ron, for running the meeting. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Ciao. Do it until